Welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is Under the Radar's quick 10-minute review on MLW. This is ALW on MLW. I am your boy ALW. I'm going to be talking about last week's War Chamber from March 29th. Um, it started off with we had MLW World Featherweight Championship match between Janai Kai and Unagi Sayaka. Sayaka. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that, but Janai Kai got the win and retained her championship. Um, it was an okay match. It was. They say to bookend your pay per views or your big shows with, well, I guess any wrestling show with a good match at the beginning and a good match at the end. I don't know if this is what I would call an opening worthy match, but it was solid. She retained her title. We had AJ Francis defeat Alex Kane, MLW World Champion. This was a non-title match. It was an interesting match. This is the first time I've seen AJ Francis wrestle on MLW. If you have before, I missed it. I know he's given some promos and been around for about a month now, but I hadn't seen him wrestle. He looked okay. They clearly want to put him over. Alex Kane didn't really look to me like Alex Kane, the champion. It was clear he was trying to help AJ Francis look good, but it is what it is. At the end of the match, they all kind of hugged, and AJ Francis actually left with a Bumaye Fight Club. I guess Alex or AJ Francis is ultimately probably going to join Bumaye. We'll see. Uh, I don't know that he's going to get a title shot after getting a win on Alex Kane, especially if he joins Bumaye. So we'll see. I'm not totally sure what is going on with this story, but I guess we'll see going forward. I'm kind of interested to see. I thought AJ Francis came off okay. If you top dollar from WWE, if you guys don't know. So then we had in a furthering story that has continued and has permeated MLW for a while now. Akira was attacked by the Calling um, again as he entered the arena. Um, like I said, this has been going on for a while now. Akira was pushed out of the Calling by Ricochet and Page, and they've had some back and forth moments. And it appears that this storyline is still going. So let's see. Then they announced War Chamber for April 20th, which will be the next MLW show. Right now, they're not doing a weekly fusion show. They're only doing these long 2 hour pay per views now every other week. So on the 20th, they will be doing War Chamber 2. So um, make sure you tune in for that. We will do a watch along, I'm sure, as well as I will do another quick review like this once the show's over. So we then had Brian Brock attack Devin Diaz and demand an opponent, and his opponent ended up being Mads Kruger, and Contra has returned to MLW, which was by far the biggest takeaway from this this War Chamber show. Contra is back. No Jacob Fatu, no Joseph Samael, not yet, anyhow. Just Mads Kruger leading the Sentai Death Squad. If you guys are familiar with MLW, if you're MLW veterans, uh, Contra was around for a long time. Jacob Fatu was its main enforcer. Joseph Samael was its kind of leader and manager. And then Mads Kruger came along, and ultimately Mads Kruger and Jacob Fatu had a falling out, and that's when Jacob left the group, and ultimately it disappeared for a while. Mads was the leader for a little bit, and then it disappeared, and now it's back apparently with Mads at the helm again. So Mads is okay. I'm not the biggest Mads Kruger fan, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, um, but they are back, which is not good for MLW. I mean, I think it's okay for MLW because Contra's a good faction, and they put butts in the seats and they bring eyes to television. It's not good for MLW in the fact that Contra's always been been a thorn in their side. They're the faction that harasses them, takes over, hacks into TV feeds, affects matches even when they're not involved or not involved in the storyline. So we'll see what kind of shenanigans they have in store for MLW now that they are back. We got Bad Dude Tito versus Richard Adonis in a solid match. You know, it's an MLW kind of filler match on a pay per view or a big show, whatever you want to call this. Um, it wasn't bad. I like Bad Dude Tito. We know him from TMDK and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he had a win here on MLW TV. So I guess that's good for him. A win here in the States is always good. And Richard Adonis is what it is. Can kind of take him or leave him. Then we had the match I was most looking forward to on the card. Matt Riddle versus Koji Fujita for the World Television Championship. It was a solid match. I don't know that it met my expectations, but they did get into second gear. I don't think it really got out of second gear. Maybe it got into third gear for a couple minutes, but ultimately Matt Riddle got the win. Fujita is also a member of TMDK um, from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and yeah, I mean, solid match, good mat work, good technical wrestling. Both guys are solid wrestlers. I didn't necessarily think Fujita was going to win. I just expected more from the match. I guess I hoped they'd give him a little more time, and that there would just be a little bit more on the bone here. But Matt Riddle wins and retains his title, so it is what it is. After that, we got Tiz Duran issuing a challenge to Selena De La Renta, saying he'll bring his best luchadors at Azteca Lucha, and Selena should too. Whoever team gets the most wins gets access to a key, which has the power of the biggest prize in Lucha Libre. So they're trying to, weave in some storylines here into MLW. Cesar Durant and some Selena De La Renta having this little kind of contest about who has the best luchadors in the world. And each one thinks that their team is the best or that their team has the best. So we will see. Then we had the MLW Middleweight World Championship defended in Mexico, Arena Mexico. The show switched arenas here. It went from where it was at, and I believe it was Philadelphia, St. Petersburg, Florida, um, to Arena Mexico for this match. It must have been pre-recorded. It was Mystico versus Angel de Oro, and Mystico got the win to retain the MLW Middleweight Championship. Sorry, solid match. Mystico's, incredible. He's, if you listen to the broadcasters here, the announcers here, they talk about how over Mystico is, how he's the biggest luchador in Mexico at the moment, the biggest name in CMLL. Hence, why he's getting a big stage here. And he retains his title in a solid match. Lots of good lucha libre work. Both these guys were good, but Mystico's proving why he's, I guess, considered the best luchador in the world. Um, I'm very interested to see him. I think I'd like to see him on a bigger stage, competing against, the likes of Penta or Ray Phoenix or Commander or, even some of those other guys. So hopefully we might see that at some point. And then we had the main event of the show, which was the War Chamber match, which is essentially War Games, which was the Second Gear Crew and Cozy Max versus World Titan Federation, WTF, St. Laurent's faction of Tom Lawler, David Boy Smith Jr., Richard Holiday, and Josh Bishop. I do like WTF. Tom Lawler, David Boy Smith, Richard Holiday, and Josh Bishop are a great faction. The four of them are awesome, but they did lose here, which is fine, to Kojima and Okamura, which is Cozy Max, and the second year crew of Matthew Justice and the one called Manders. This was a solid match. It was exactly what you expected to be. They put two rings together. They put a cage around it. They put a lot of weapons in it. There's blood. There's doors. There's, chairs. There's all sorts of stuff. Several people have bled. Um, Ultimately, Cozy Max and the second year crew get the win here. Um, it's exactly what you picture it is. If you've seen a War Games match, if you're not familiar with War Chamber, it's basically the exact same thing. But a good match. I enjoyed it. Solid. Again, if you like blood and violence, this is a match for you. If you don't go back and watch it. Uh, but yeah, that's MLW War Chamber from March 29th, 2024, in about 11 minutes. So please continue to turn in for our new weekly short reviews. Um, and we appreciate you here at Workhorse Wrestling Network. So thank you very much. And until next time, if I can find the outro here, I will get up off your TV screen here. Peace.